March 18th. The flooded house. After entering the door, we came to what looks like a flooded house. After turning the valves upstairs, the water receded back down the stairs. As we got down the stairs, we could see in the distance something swimming towards us. It was a giant fish. We turned around and ran back up the stairs to the non-flooded part of the house, and came up with a plan involving draining the water from the second floor. Without the water, that fish would die out and not be able to pursue us any further. After turning all 4 valves, Diana and Bishop proceed down the stairs to the 3rd floor, and are forced to jump across objects to progress, finally finding the key to the locked door in one of the adjacent rooms flooded, laying on a couch. After they finally reached the door, they inserted the key into the door and opened it to a grass-covered room with blue painted walls and clouds painted on it. The door in front of them said cave system above. Opening the door, they climbed up the ladder leading into the cave system. March 19th. The cave system. After Bishop and Diana climbed up the ladder and walked through the door, it led them into what looks like an old mine shaft. Walking a couple feet and looking at the ground, they notice a bunch of flashlights. Picking up a flashlight off the ground and proceeding down the tunnel, coming towards a large cave opening. There was a mine shaft elevator just ahead of them. Max finally caught up to them and ran ahead. Bishop yelled out to him, saying, "Wait," only for Max to disappear in a blink of an eye as something swooped down and grabbed him. The last thing they heard was the sound of whatever it was crushing Max to death. His screams faded as quickly as they were heard. It looked like a giant bat, and it was making another attempt to try and grab Diana and Bishop, but luckily they somehow managed to dodge it and dodge to the left, It was forced to fly back up to avoid hitting a cave wall. Turning to their left, they see a generator and push the button, and are forced to run into a smaller cave passage, jumping across the ravine to the other side and running around the corner, seeing another generator, which meant there must be 1 or 2 more left to get their only escape working again. Which meant they had to also figure out a way to get past the creature. Looking around the small cave passage and noticing a skeleton of what's assumed to be a survivor, they both look at each other and realize that they might have to use this skeleton as a distraction. So they throw the skeleton as far as they can, and surprisingly, the creature goes right for it, giving them enough time to run across to the other side to get to the other cave passage, traveling down the cave tunnel for a little while, eventually finding another generator, and making their way back to the large cave opening, where they saw the elevator and noticed that there was no sign of the creature anywheres, which meant it must be lying in wait for them. With no choice, they have to make their way to the elevator. They get on it, it starts going up, but halfway up, the creature makes one final attempt to try and get them by ramming itself into the elevator and managing to break the elevator door open. Thinking fast, one of them smashes their flashlight and then stabs it right in the eye with the broken flashlight. The creature retreats back in pain. Bishop and Diana narrowly escaped death once again. The elevator reached the surface. Walking a little ways, they eventually reach the exit and end up in a tunnel leading into a city.